Well, everyone wants to have the yard and garden that's the envy of the neighborhood. So every month, our friend Prairie from Classic Landscapes drops by with some great tips and tricks. And today, we're talking all about fun fruit to grow. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're starting off with raspberries, which you indicate it's good for anyone who's more on the beginner scale, I guess, in terms of doing some planting and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. If you're thinking about having fruit in your yard, whether it's in a container, maybe you live in a condo or a townhouse and don't have a lot of yard space, they work well in containers.
Okay.
But obviously you can plant them in your yard as well. Raspberries are bulletproof, and so they're a great choice.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't use that term lightly.
I know, I was like, oh, okay.
A lot of people say, I kill everything. Raspberries will grow.
I kill even just succulents, so am I good with that?
Well, okay, that's a bit much.
Okay, sorry.
But give it a go, because it's definitely worth it. I brought a couple. Boyne raspberry is the large one. Another advantage is that you can get some that are already well established and fruit producing. Typically speaking, though, raspberries are going to spread a bit. So you want an area that's about 4 feet deep if it's going to be a flower bed, because they'll start to fill that space. Have a little raspberry patch. You don't need different raspberries. You can just plant the same plant. You could plant one plant and they're going to fruit and produce fruit on their own right off the bat. So
nice.
Nice and easy.
That's fantastic.
One of my favorites to grow here is blueberries.
Okay, why is that?
Extremely tasty.
Oh, yes, they are.
And that's really what it is. You want to pick them and eat them. That's really what we're talking about.
Okay.
A few varieties here. I've got actually, right up front, there's actually the pink lemonade. And so it's actually pink fruit, as it would sound. So kind of cool and different. Northland, Polaris. There's several varieties that are really good around here. They all are also self-pollinating. However, they won't produce a lot of fruit on their own. So it's better to have a couple different varieties. You'll get a heavier yield, more fruit produced. So cross-pollination is not 100% necessary. However, it does benefit the plant and benefit your yield when you talk about picking and eating in terms. And so it's really good. Really important to have nice organic soil, and they like a more acidic soil as well. So adding things like peat moss, compost, really important for blueberries for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, this is something I haven't heard before. Haskap berries?
Haskap berries, sometimes called the honeyberry.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
But super hardy and really cool. They're actually the one I've got here just to my right. Maybe if you get in a little tight here, we've got some fruit just hanging right here at the front by my hand.
Yes.
And so it kind of looks like a long, drawn-out blueberry. They kind of taste like a blueberry raspberry, but as it goes, they're actually much higher even in antioxidants than blueberries. And blueberries, as we know, are one of the best, but haskaps even better. Again, super hardy. However, haskaps, they aren't self-pollinating, so they do need 2 varieties.
Okay.
And so what we've done in this one, actually, it's a combination haskap, where we've put an Aurora and a Tundra variety in the pot together. So you don't need to go looking for different ones. This one will produce a fruit, as you can see, and nice and easy. Doesn't take up a lot of space. They'll grow, 5 to 6 feet tall. Again, a really nice plant. Different, if you like different as well.
I do like different.
Something unique, and they're quite tasty to eat. And again, really hardy for our winters.
That's awesome. We have just under a minute left. So
we'll be quick. So the last one, the bigger one, is our Romance series of cherries. It's actually the Romeo cherry. Okay. Great, tasty cherry. It's called the sour cherry, but it's actually great to pick off. It'll grow about 6 to 8 feet tall. And the Romance series has a wide series, Juliet, Cupid, all the imaginations you can think of. Heavy producers, you can see lots of fruit that's coming along on that, even on a small plant, and so really important.
That's awesome. You have a little display that you wanted to talk about here.
This is the last most important thing. Fruit takes a lot of energy to produce, and so you need to fertilize. But you want to fertilize with something that's set for fruit. As you see this one, it's like a 7-21-18.
Okay.
You don't want a high first number. That's nitrogen. It's going to produce a flush of leaves and inhibit fruit and flower production. So an all-purpose fertilizer is not going to be good for you. Make sure that you use something with a lower first percentage of nitrogen. Again, this says fruit on it, so it's a good choice because you'll have a nice healthy plant. Nice. It'll look full with no fruit, and you'll wonder, what's the problem? Well, that might be it.
Wow, Perry, you have so much wealth of knowledge in there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you always coming down here. For more great ideas, you can check out Classic Landscapes and Classic Gardens at their 2 locations. You can also visit them online at classicgardens.ca.